Now is your time.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 13th floor, where the furniture isn't always the best, but the views are amazing. I'm your moderator, B. Jones, and today I'm joined by the man, Carol Kadaya. What's happening?
What's happening? I appreciate you. Called me out first.
Yeah, man, we're going to get you out the way, man.
Good, man. I'll be boring like Jay then.
Heck
Hey,
no.
what's good?
Heck no. It's only 4 of us this week, man. We can't afford that. We can't afford that.
What you mean, man? I just wanted to celebrate his presence, man.
Yeah, none of it.
Or his lack of presence.
DJ Barry B. Fresh.
Hold on. I got you.
Huh?
Hey, shout out to the new trailer. I hope you're
official.
I've heard great things about this new trailer, man.
Man.
Wow.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, though.
Oh, man, I'll drop you the link right now.
You see who the real fans are.
Crazy.
serious.
But
Like,
Mr. Fresh Motivation, we coming your way, man. What's happening, bro?
you know, I'm just enjoying myself. I had the opportunity to go to the game this weekend, and you know,
Another W.
another exciting. I mean, that catch was nothing short of amazing. The energy in the stadium was, I will say, Orange Bowl-esque. That it was, you know, it was nice. It was, I definitely, it's great to be a Miami Hurricane.
It is super great to be a Miami Hurricane right now. Was it actual monsoon in the stadium? Because I was watching it on.
So, I mean,
It
when
looked mad foggy at times.
the change in the atmosphere around the fourth quarter was probably only like 5 minutes left. Literally, you felt the clouds about to take over the stadium. You look up and you just see them just start coming over the whole stadium. And everybody's looking up like, what's going on? And then you just hear that rain. I mean, it was coming down in buckets. I mean, nothing but blessings. The fact that my section, I was in.
He was in the cover section.
Yeah, right. I was in the, and so, well, you know, the new stadium, I will give them. They made a lot of upgrades. That there are very few sections, and actually, from what I've noticed from the design and what I was told, that literally they have the only spot that catches sun is the visitor section. And so when we got there,
Let them bake.
you could see like, oh man, that sucks. You can see one section where they are just getting baked. Later on, I was talking to some friends after we post tailgated that you know, they said that that's the only section that gets
Post tailgate.
Oh yeah, that's
man. The turn up be real. You want a game like that?
Look, the energy, like we were down. We were the energy in the crowd. People were leaving. You know that it was down, but there was still a nice crowd, especially when you consider these past 10 years where crowds have been dismal out there. You know, have been almost nothing. And like I said, when the clouds rolled over and the rain started, it was almost like we all got re-energized. It washed away all the pain, and you could feel the shift in not just the energy in the crowd, but literally the players on the field just got that energy of, this is going to be our game, because this is a South Florida Miami football game. And I mean, that fourth 11 yards to go, the same guy runs the same play. And I mean, that catch was double team. They knew everybody knew where this ball is going. And this guy, this tight end doesn't even start. Makes one of.
I thought it was Amon Richards that caught the last.
It was the same
I thought
guy.
so too.
It was the same guy.
guy.
That's him, Amon Richards.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is he a tight end?
He's a tight end.
Receiver. He
Number 81. No, he's
81,
a tight
yeah.
end. He
Tight
doesn't
end?
even start. He doesn't even start. He's a tight end and doesn't even start.
That's fine. I'll take him coming off the bench if he gonna make those
Right?
catches.
2 weeks in a row
The energy.
has made some of the most amazing catches I've ever seen in Miami history, and dare I say it, it is feeling like the beginning of the youth.
It really is, man. When you think about it, where we came from, all the down years, and then a lot of things are starting to go our way.
I just want us to play 2 halves of football. Can we play?
It's crazy. Once we finally figure out to put that together, man, we're gonna be unstoppable.
I'll tell you like this. I prefer that we've come to play the second half of football, and normally what we are doing was playing only the first half of football. So I'm very happy with the swing of things, and I will take these. While I don't want them all the time, they do bring the spirit and the direction and focus back to the team, and make people, feel that energy and that what we felt growing up and going to the games.
That's
that
true.
same love and energy for the team and the excitement that it built around.
Hey, that's great. But I did not feel cardiac canes growing up.
Cardiac case.
Yeah, I did
We
not
did.
feel that.
2000s, the 2000s
Nah,
was
we were
pretty comeback.
We were
No.
savages. No, we were savages.
Yeah, we were savage.
We're
man.
just
Like,
Yeah.
destroying
Yeah.
everything. That's why it was such a heartbreaking loss to Ohio because of all the BS.
That's
We were just stomping. teams.
I was there at the game too.
Yeah, remember they were throwing like
All kinds of
9-yard
flags and
passes,
shit.
like,
Yeah.
Back then it was crazy. Reggie Wayne, Andre, like they were just getting loose back in our day.
Yeah, man, it was amazing. Faison, I ain't forget about you, man. You
Oh,
were
it's okay. It's
Fresh
okay.
on for a little while, but welcome
No, it's all
back,
right.
Mr. BFBG.
Welcome
Glad to
back.
have you here.
Oh, man.
Welcome back.
Congratulations. I don't know if I told you face to face, kind of sort of we are right now, but
No, we
congratulations
haven't.
on a newborn.
Thank you. I've been in a hole. I've been literally in the cave, just sleeping and feeding and cleaning and feeding and cleaning. But it's been great. Little Ace is here. He is already. He'll be a month in 2 days. He's already 10 pounds. He'll probably be about 11 in another day or so. So he's another big guy. Yeah, just happy, good, and tired all at the same time.
wow.
How's Nami taking to him?
Oh, Nambi loves him. Like, this dude is funny. When he first saw him, he grabbed him, gave him a big hug, and was like, yay. And then now in the house, if he starts crying and he's in a different area, he'll run over to like the baby, peek over, look at him, come to find one of us and be like, somebody gonna take care of this?
Like, what are you doing?
So it's like,
That's funny.
it's real cool. He really likes his brother. So I say that now. I think when he gets old enough to pick up the toys, start playing with his toys, then we'll see how much he still likes them. But right now,
Look over like,
these are mine. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, it's all good.
They're so close.
All's well.
They're so close in age. I think they
Yeah.
should have like a really good relationship. So it won't be that disconnected. They'll be in high
Yeah.
school about the same time. They'll be
Mhm.
experiencing a lot of the same stuff. That whole
Yep.
tag along situation. See, me and my brother, we're separated by 4 years, so it was just too much
see,
space.
this-
Yeah, too much
Yeah,
space.
you're going to middle school. He's already in high school. He's like, you're not cool enough for me.
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
Yeah, he's going to have all those things. So it's going to be interesting. It'll be fun. I think it's going to be probably a rough couple of years when he turned like 6 months to 8 months and he starts learning how to punch and knowing his strength, because babies tend to throw things and they well out. And when he turns 2, he's gonna be like, hey, stop. But the baby's like, I want to play. So we'll see how that interaction works. I'll keep you informed as we all go through the Faison Boy's leadership or growth throughout the time.
Nice.
So what you got him learning? Muay Thai already?
No, but Nabi's heavy-handed, and I'm sure the baby's gonna be the same way. Like, Nabi's learning how to throw now.
Nabi's heavy-handed. It's Nabi's. Okay, his hands are just as the average. When they're proportionate to the size of his big old body.
That's very true. They
You
still
are
think he's
already
2
raised
or
to-
3. So, somebody asked me, is he, how old is he, 3? Said, no, he's only 16 months. He'll be 17 tomorrow, but like, wow.
Whoa,
I'm like, yeah.
I feel sorry for you.
He's just said he's wearing a size 8 shoe now already, so yeah.
So how was it, man? How was the delivery and everything,
You need to
man?
sit. Hold on. You need to West Coast.
Gentle
Send that man
giants,
to West
bro.
Coast to stomp out some of them forest fires.
He already
This
fit
guy.
shoes?
Yeah, he's already in size 8. Mm-hmm. I got him a pair of the KD Fire Ices, and he's rocking those, and they're 8, and it just fits.
That's gonna be interesting, bro. You're gonna be
8.
8. Mm-hmm.
at 1 month old.
Yep, 16 months. A year. No, not the baby. The baby's not wearing shoes yet. Namdi's wearing to 60 at the age. Okay, all right, yeah.
Definitely know.
No, I was confused. I thought we was talking about the baby. I'm like,
No,
Right,
baby has long
said
feet.
that 1 month.
like, I was confused. I was like, whoa. I know we got some big babies over there.
Yeah,
Come
no.
on, man.
The baby has big feet, and hopefully next week I can bring it down here and give him a little unveiling.
EJ, okay.
Yeah. But the birth was crazy. It was 14 hours of labor. We went in there to get checked up to see if he was ready, and doctor was like, "Yeah, go in." So we never went home. We spent 6 days in the hospital because we just waited for the first day, and then we just waiting for it and waiting, and then finally they were like, "All right, let's go." So yeah, it was long process, but he was here. He came out, happy, and didn't cry much at all. He the first little wah, and that was pretty much it. Like his brother, like neither one of them cried. They opened their eyes immediately. So it's good. He's still not a crier. He may cry a couple minutes to eat, but other than that, we would forget he was here.
That's what's up, man. Sounds like he's gonna be an easy baby. Did you
I
cry?
hope. No, not this time. I cried on Namdi. This time I was like, all right, cool. Like I was like looking this time to see what's happening. I know I'm done. So I was like, let me just see what's going on inside there now. Let me see, look at everything.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
We cannot let Ace ever see this podcast.
You didn't cry for me, Dad.
It's like, dang, man, you already showing face, man.
He got all the love. Everything else. It's just, I don't know, like the first baby, you're like, this one was like, oh, cool. All right, let's do this. I start walking.
I can't even remember what the product is that they're selling. It might be Geico or something, but that commercial where the mom at first they have the newborn.
Oh yeah, he's like here.
All these rules and regulations on what to do with the baby. Comes to the second one, she dirty, just give the baby, like, go ahead, do whatever.
That's true. That's so true. Nowadays, there's he's not getting away with anything. If he's crying, like, yeah, he's fine. Or
exactly.
If he's like,
it's crazy
hungry,
how
like,
that
it's
happens,
totally
right?
different. Your body's like, nah. Oh, he fell. He'll be all right. Just let him roll over.
It's also, you have the experienced parents who try to tell the new parents, all of these things, and oh no, my baby's different. No,
Yeah.
it's so crazy. And then after they go through it, it's like, oh man, I would have saved so much time.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
I would have been able to do so many more activities.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
So yeah, but it's all good. It's all good. So now I'm just getting ready for the move. We're moving in a month or so. So I was hoping to move before baby was born. We didn't do it, so now we're gonna move in December. So when that comes up, I'll be moving. Then we'll get our room back because technically we've been living on a couch because Namdi has the master bedroom and we're downstairs with the baby. So
how has Nambi had a master bedroom?
because listen, if you want the baby to sleep 8 hours, you do
Choices to make.
do what you gotta do.
That's fair.
So couple more 2 months from now, I'll be back in my bed. We got a new bed. I think I may have slept 5 days in that bed. So it's still a brand new bed. So I'm looking forward to enjoying that. But yeah, we'll have their own rooms.
Except for the part where there's gonna be a sink in the mattress.
No, he has his own crib, so he's good. He's good to go. But yes, I'm looking forward to getting my
So
room
he has
back.
his own king size bed.
He should. He's big enough.
Thank you. Sumo
Wait.
wrestlers you raising.
Namdi still sleeps in the crib.
Yeah, but it's always to the bottom. Always.
Stay
to the
bad.
bottom.
You know it's special,
Wow.
mate. Come on.
Like, and his head's literally, he's like, he stands up, he's over the thing like, hey, y'all coming to get me? No, not yet. All right, cool.
Yeah, that's how Asher is. I gotta look to see if I can drop Asher's mattress down any further,
Mm-hmm.
especially now that he's figured out how to climb, but he hasn't tried it with the crib yet.
Oh,
Some of the
Asher's on the
Some of
ground. Next thing you know, he's up on the bed.
yeah, uh-huh.
those are some of the greatest videos, man. Y'all have the cameras in the house to record them?
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's don't record. Mine's just, it can record one, two, but it's just there to see.
Right. Yeah. Same thing. We have the same camera, so
We do.
yeah,
And it's hot trash.
it is hot trash.
Okay.
It is hot trash.
I'm not gonna name that company.
I would-
Yeah.
Right. We don't want to
You would say that the name was such.
Right?
That joke could just randomly just
Offline.
Oh,
Yeah.
offline.
Sorry.
Not coming back on.
Yep.
Delete and add it on.
And was this
Yes.
a gift or is this something y'all came across like y'all actually bought?
I think ours was on the registry.
Yeah, so it's ours, yeah.
Oh, so you put it on the registry, so it ain't really.
It said it was best of the best, and
And
it's
as a
gonna be
matter
the
of
worst.
fact, Art might have bought mine,
Yeah, I think so.
and I think I bought his.
Yeah.
Easy. So y'all looking out for each other.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
So
We
these
bought each
friends,
other trash.
Do they come with like a pre-made kind of like, yo, this is all the stuff that you guys will need, or did you guys go one by one item?
Yeah. No, I went through the whole like baby
man. We went in
listing.
With the gun.
Oh, that's right. You were.
I did mine online. I did mine just from Babies R Us, just clicking. It took like 3 hours to do it.
Wow, Archer.
Nah.
But you know, I had like 2,000 things. I narrowed down to
When you
what I wanted.
You would have had so much fun just running around the store.
I know.
When he went through with the gun, I think I added like 3 things.
He added 3,000.
Camouflage.
Easy.
Yeah.
Well,
Daddy,
yeah, man.
Daddy.
That's it.
Done.
Well, congratulations once again, man. Can't
Thank
wait
you,
to
thank
see
you.
AC on the podcast.
Yes,
Man, how's EJ?
yes. She's good, man. She's good. She's up and out, walking around, doing her thing. She feels good. I mean, baby 2 was a little rough in the beginning, first couple of days, couple of weeks. But then after that, she's back. Yeah, she's back to her thing now. She's up and moving around. But she got time off. She's good. She's off until January. So yeah, she's gonna be good. She's well.
Awesome, man. Well, can't wait to come back to you for Art's Corner, man. But right about now, I want to go. I want to talk a little motivation. We haven't done that in a while, man. Carol, this is your wheelhouse, man. So I'm expecting.
Man, I was expecting Jay Dace to be here to drive this wheel.
I really was as well, but I didn't. I forgot he wasn't. But since you are here, you the man. I want to talk about this sense of entitlement situation, man. I was listening to a podcast not too long ago. It was actually Belly, the rapper we talked about a while ago, Fresh, and he was on Rap Radar talking about some things, and he made this like statement talking about if it should be you, it would be you, and I just thought that was pretty accurate, man. And then I think about some times or some people I know, or people just in general that are going through things or are striving to be the best or whatever, but you're striving to accomplish a goal, but they have this sense of I should be there already. You know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to be making it there already. And not from a standpoint of, I can see it and I'm envisioning it. So I'm trying to put it out to the universe to attract those things back to me, but really feeling like I've done what I need to do to get there. Why am I not there already? So feeling like you're supposed to have something that you just don't have right now. And I think of 2 situations, and ironically enough, they both involve you and I, Carol. But the first one is a training that you kind of helped me coordinate when you were still here in Maryland. And, at the time I got everybody together to do this regional, pretty much regional training. And, it was successful, went well, and I wanted to see it continue on, a regular basis. And I got got some pushback behind it. And, I felt like, no, these people they should be doing what I need them to do to accomplish this specific task. Like, this is what I want to see happen with this event. And instead of kind of attacking, figure out ways, mitigate, the circumstances or whatnot, I kind of just let it fall by the wayside because, like I said before, I felt entitled to, being able to make this event bigger or it being what I envisioned it to be. And instead of working with people, I kind of just let it fall by the wayside. And I didn't really think a whole lot of it until you and I sat down and had a conversation, at which point you pointed out a couple of things. First, on how it looked from, my standpoint, and how I just kind of dropped the ball on something that eventually could have been great. And I just let somebody else kind of take the reins of something that I started. And then you also threw out a word that I hate to be associated with, and that's, mediocrity or mediocre. And you challenged me in that instance. And I feel like I wouldn't have risen from that occasion. I would have stayed in my own sense of self-entitlement if it had not been for you challenging, me in that occasion. So I really want to talk through that because I think that there's a lot of examples on a regular basis where we as individuals, whether we're worthies and it's feeling entitled to certain things, but we're not doing what all we need to do to be able to come to those things. And then the second instance, which is more of a success story, which will be yours, is when you first applied for a position because at the time you were trying to get back to Florida. And there was a position open that you felt like you were qualified enough for to get the position. And, you apply for it and everything, and you find out weeks later that you don't get the position. In actuality, someone with a little less tenure with the company had got it. And I love the way you handled that situation. And this is at the time when you were still running our team, and you came and you talked to us about it. And I can't remember the exact words, but you talked about what being great to you, how your great wasn't, I guess, great enough for the next person. Maybe you can, put a little bit of sauce on it, make it sound a little bit more eloquent. But in the end, you didn't let that discourage you or from achieving the goals that you had set out. And lo and behold, a few months later, I believe, you end up not only managing one store, but two. So you were not only granted the position you wanted, but you were given extra responsibility and back in Florida where you started. So that sense of entitlement that you had started with, you didn't let that hinder your progress. You fought through it and were able to make those things, the necessary changes happen to be able to see your, I guess, dream or goal on to fruition.
So let's go back to the first situation. And right, you created this training that, for all intents and purposes, it was a good training. And my whole thing was that it seemed like you wanted to have instant confirmation that it was great. And in your situation, because you were doing something that nobody had done before, nobody's going to immediately come out and say, hey, that was awesome, because it's an unacknowledged competition between yourself and everybody else is trying to grow. So you have to realize when you go out there and you do something great, it's not a one-time thing. It's not a one-time event. We're looking for consistency. And a lot of times in our lives, that's what we do. We go out and we do this one thing. It could be in our household, in our marriage, it could be at work, whatever it might be. And you do this one thing that you think is so great that you think that should carry you through for a period of time. And you want that acknowledgement. And to go a little bit further deeper into that particular situation, one of the things you said was that you were expecting, I was expecting. And I try to tell people, when you want to grow, it is no longer about you. It's about the other people and what you're doing. And that was my challenge to you. Hey, your training was good, but what could you have done to make it better and make a bigger impact, that when somebody goes back to their office and they're performing at a certain level and they ask them, hey, well, what was the change, or what event can I identify with this change I saw in this person? And that would be you. And a lot of people are going through life, like let's say life was a volleyball game. Everybody wants to be in the front, right?
Everybody want to get that spike.
Because everybody wants that spike and they want to be set up. Everybody wants to be set up. However, the real position where you hold the most power on the volleyball court is as the server.
Correct, sir.
And you're serving to the skill set and to the benefit of others. Because even if you don't get a spike, you're going to send the ball somewhere that when they try to return it, your strongest people get the opportunity, right, to do something with it. And I think if we line ourselves up into the position of serving, like if I can serve 11 points straight,
we in there.
We're in there. Or if I can serve to the point where they never get the ball back over the net because my people in the front are going to take care of it. And that's the thing. You have to be able to identify people's roles and identify, more importantly, your role and how you can serve others. And you develop those people, and through those people being developed, it then comes back to what is the commonality between all these people being developed. And that commonality ended up being you. And people were so envious of the training that you had put on that, as you said and alluded to, somebody else came along and grabbed your training and they started doing it. And I just looked at you like,
you lost
Exactly.
it. You
Wow.
lost.
Yeah.
Exactly.
right? And that person used that as their stepping stone to get to the next level.
And so I'm gonna stop you right there, because it's an important piece to that, where you let it happen, right? And I'm sitting here thinking it should have came back to me. And so it's it's a dangerous word in there, that word should, because you're putting a lot of expectations and hopes just up in the air instead of being the one to make something happen. And that's what I really want to inspire people to be able to do, not sit here and put it on the whim of chance or thinking that this should happen or living in a fantasy world, because should just means like, yeah, it's almost like I say this all the time, potential. You know what I'm saying? Potential is just another word for somebody who hasn't done anything yet. You know what I'm saying? So when you're talking about what should be yours, change that around and talk about what will be yours, and then start actually you're going to do to make sure it is yours. And understand that what may be great to yourself might not be great to the next person. So you really need to, look at that and how you can enhance those things so that you can impact the next person.
Should is not concrete. Should is in the same bucket of chance and probability.
Yep. And
probability is, if you don't own whatever that title is that you want, then somebody else is going to get it if you don't own it. And that's what I always tell people. If you want to get to a certain level, then you need to act the part that you want and do the things that would bring that title. The title is not your green light to now act in this capacity. The title is confirmation that you've been acting in this capacity.
Exactly. And then moving along to your situation, man, and how you ended up back down in Florida or whatnot, and the way that you kind of handled that, man. Like I said, I love the way that you expressed that to the team. So I'm going to allow you to go through that once again. So I'm trying
to remember how I did that one. So what I did in that situation was, I interviewed, I have people saying that, hey, this is messed up, you should have been in this position. But instead of sitting there and licking my wounds and being like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this, I use my situation to try and motivate the team. Because for all intents and purposes, I had all these great things that I had done. And what I tried to show them was that, hey, your great only goes but so far. There's somebody else whose great may go beyond yours.
That's what it is.
When you try to line it up, your great doesn't measure up to their great. And you have to keep continuing to develop yourself and find out what is that next level of great that you could get to, and not just rest on your laurels thinking that, oh man, I did all this stuff. I am the man. I am unstoppable. I am the woman, nobody else. But until you actually get compared to somebody else, you really don't know, right? Like you could be the fastest person in
your school. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
And when you go to the Olympics, you were the number one qualifier in your country, and then you're dead last.
Exactly.
Yep.
So it's not.
It happens.
It happens all the time. And I may have said Chitsnia. I meant to say Chitsnia.
What is that?
Hey man, It's a country. It's a country.
Chitsnia is, but now we're with the shits.
Yeah. No.
Yes, let's go there. But before we go there, man.
And again, instead of just reflecting and on myself, we had a team at the time that there were many people that wanted to aspire to get to the next level, and they felt like, oh, what I'm doing is awesome. Meanwhile, I know that what you think is awesome is average someplace else. And my thing was, I need you to challenge yourself to always get to a universal level of awesome and not just a localized level of awesome.
Exactly, man. It's so frustrating, man, because you think you do something great in the office, man, and you start throwing out that word great, and Carol start asking you all kinds of questions like, but what about this? And what about that? What about this? And what about that? But as a manager and a leader of men, that's kind of how you do it, man. Iron sharpens iron. So moral of the story, ladies and gentlemen, don't let that should drive your life. Go out there and take reins, man. Don't be a passenger. Don't be passive in your development or whatever goal that it is you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, and look, you have to understand why you're trying to accomplish these goals. And what I always try to tell people, you can't accomplish a goal the same way somebody else did, because you're not that person.
Absolutely.
So you have to figure out, what is your spin on it going to be? How are you going to move forward from there? Because you can't do it like your friend did it.
And it's crazy because, if you think of yourself in the corporate atmosphere, since we kind of on that subject or whatnot, you are one amongst many. So how are you gonna stand out? You know, and I'll be the first to claim that I'm not the most creative person in the universe at all. But there are specific attributes that we all possess. There are specific things that we all are great at. And once you figure that out, you tap into that and how you can manage that, that's what's going to shine above everything else. That's what's going to get you to that next level. So tapping into that is key. Knowing yourself, knowing what it is that you want to do and how you're going to do it.
Your message.
Yeah. Well, not just your message, but it's going to be hard for you to reach your level of great if you're trying to be great like somebody else.
Right. Yeah.
And I wish Mr. Logistics was on there. He shared a link with us yesterday, and it came from Kill Bill, where Bill was talking about
Volume 2.
Volume 2, where he was talking about superheroes and the mythology of superheroes. And one of the things he talked about was Peter Parker wakes up as Peter Parker. Batman, he actually wakes up as Bruce Wayne, and then they put on a costume to become these people. However, Superman was actually born Superman, and he wakes up Superman and puts on a costume to be Clark Kent. Mm-hmm. So he tries to dumb down and basically downgrade who he is while everybody else is trying to upgrade. And there are a lot of people, you know, myself included, at some point in life, you know, I left Superman at home because I was trying to fit into the mold of what I thought I was going to see. Or some of you do it to get married. You do it to get into a relationship. You kind of leave Superman at home. Well, some of you turn off the lights and you become Superman. But that's a story for another day.
Superman lover.
But you do some things that you normally wouldn't do that's outside of who you really are. Like for me, for instance, when I first met my wife, one of our first dates, I cooked, right? I should have set the expectation at that point that, look, hey, this isn't something I do all the time. I cook. I'm an event-driven cooker. Right? Like if something great is going on, I'll make my contribution.
Now you've been held to that standard.
Well, that's a problem. She feel like she was hoodwinked because
You rope-a-dope me.
I don't like washing dishes. Like, no.
I could say the same thing, but we ain't gonna go there. That's a story for another.
With the downgrading, do you think that frustration also can do that? So if you've been somewhere and you're doing your thing, you're really trying to be the Superman, but you can't get through the barriers, that you're frustrated enough where you just let it go and you become a part of the minion group, just so that you can just fit through and coast through that process.
Well, I think that's more settling than it is the frustration. Regardless, you have to push past the frustration, but also it's about understanding. Like, I think that we as people tend to create these false timelines and you know, these, you know, hey, if I don't do it in this amount of time, there's something wrong. It's okay to create a time frame to motivate yourself, but to not get so discouraged if you're making the progress, but it's not in the same time that you had initially thought it was going to take.
Right. This is where Jay would jump in and he would say it's about the journey, not the destination. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times we don't realize that.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, phenomenal.
Wakanda.
Yeah, a lot of times we don't realize that, again, as I said, you act the part that you want. So when you're doing these things that are next level, you should not be surprised that you haven't got whatever that thing is yet, because whoever, whether it be your spouse, your boss, your fellow student peers, you should not be surprised when they don't immediately, because at some point it becomes the expectation that this is what you do. This is expected behavior from you. And a lot of us give up before we actually get that recognition or that acknowledgement of what we've been doing. And there's a meme out there or whatever it is. It shows a guy that's digging a tunnel trying to get to diamonds, and he gives up like right before that last.
Yeah, they have one with a carrot too.
Yeah, there's another one with a carrot, exactly. And a lot of us, that's how we're going through life. That's how we go through it in our relationships, work, school. You'll be right there, but because you're experiencing a hardship or the road is not going as you planned it to go and it's taking a little bit longer, and then you give up right before you reach that finish line.
Yeah, man, and I can attest to that frustration thing. And I think one of the biggest things that I had to learn dealing with that specifically is that you have to you can't take it on yourself. And when I talk about that, I'm talking about an appraisal of your performance. So you gotta solicit, that type of feedback or whatnot, because otherwise, like, you're in your head and you're kind of going along thinking that I'm doing X, Y, and Z. There's no reason I shouldn't be at the level that I feel like I should be at. But once again, you start talking about Carol pointed that out a little earlier, a little while ago. So I think that's when you start looking into other, like those people who are in positions that you're aspiring to be at. You kind of reach out to them to figure out, hey, what is it that I should be doing? Or what is it that I'm doing that's not allowing me to get to this point? Because not only are you expressing that interest to get to the next level, you don't succumb to the frustration, and they look at you and like, oh yeah, I thought, Brett was a good candidate, but he kind of just fell back. So, I'll go on to Johnny, who seems to be a little bit more interested than him.
I think it's twofold though. It's one, you have to, especially in your work environment, in your relationships, open dialogue and be able to discuss things. But the bigger number two is that you have to be able to consume criticism, and most people cannot take especially when you think that you have given it your all and done such an amazing job, for somebody to tell you, oh yeah, well, just like Carol did, oh well, what could you have done to make it better? Or, you really could have done this, or this piece was missing, or that part that you thought was just so amazing wasn't what resonated with me. So it's being able to encourage the dialogue, but then being accepting and able to consume what is not always the most positive replies.
Yeah, and one of the things we have to realize is that in any, let's say you're trying to have a relationship or you're trying to get to the next level, your instances of I decrease as you move up or as you become more serious in your relationship, because there become more important things. And that's why I encourage people, before you want to get to the next level or before you want to get into a relationship, you have to establish that foundation, which is you. You have to spend your time building and solidifying that and understanding who you are. A lot of people respond to criticism badly because you're already in question about who you are, and therefore you think you're this person, and somebody criticizes you. Now you have to go back and rethink. And
it's because that mirror. A lot of people do not like criticism because of the mirror it puts on them and the light that it shines on them, and especially when you feel or think that you're doing something in such an amazing way, for somebody to be able to point out, oh, well, your toe actually wasn't pointed. Yes, you might have kicked your foot higher than everybody else, but your toe wasn't pointed. That's really what stood out the most to me. It didn't matter that, it was so high.
And that's the thing. For somebody that's not sure about themselves, or they put on a false sense of confidence, the last thing they want to see is themselves in the mirror. Because now they're forced to go back and analyze themselves, and they hate people hate that. We hate that. We don't like that. If we're not sure and we're not confident in who we are, we don't know that image of us and who we are. We're not that Superman, and we've come to grips with the fact that we're Superman and this is our responsibility. Hate it.
There it is, fellas. I appreciate y'all indulging me in that conversation. Excuse me. Art, coming your way next, man. It's been a while. What you got for us in the Arts Corner?
It's Arts Corner.
Right? Oh, man.
Wow. It's Arts Corner.
It's been so much going on in life. I don't even know what I need to start with.
What's grinding your gears? What's grinding your gears with babies?
What's grinding my gears? Well, right now, I'm just thinking about the fact that I have to go back to work and get my mindset right. I've been off for, we'll say, 26 days, 25 days or so.
I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but Art has absolutely the most amazing auto reply that I've ever got from somebody. Like, it made me literally rethink what was going on my computer. I didn't know if there was a virus for a second, because he literally has something like, you've been charged like $2 per word or something like that. It's a great message. But go ahead.
No worries. Yeah, I got one for internal and external. My internal one is a reference to Back to the Future. Yeah, so it's just, getting my mindset ready to go. It's my cousin got married over the weekend, so I saw her get married. I went to DR. I was gone for a little bit, came back, did that process. But now I'm just kind of getting myself set up. I'm going to be going to a conference this weekend coming up. So I'm still not into the flow of things, but the phone calls are starting to come back again. And you're kind of like, don't want to answer the calls, but I know I had to. So I'm kind of just like, okay. Yeah, so I could tell today I cracked the email open up. I saw what came in. I'm kind of now just going through. I sent all my email. 627, I think, which is not bad. Yeah, I thought it'd be higher, so it's good.
Select all, mark all red.
Right. But the thing is that I put it into a folder, so it's all in its own folder. And literally, I had I did the parameters while I'm on vacation, so I can go there and see what came through. But yeah, you know what? That's my corner right now, is just kind of getting myself back in the flow of things. I'm just still on cloud 9. I'm cloud 9 with a baby. It doesn't matter what's going on. At the end of the day, I'm now a father times 2. And that 5 o'clock bell that rings when work's over, like the Flintstones, sorry, away message. Because now things are about to change. It's going to get totally different when you have one maybe start preschool in December or January, and then one still in the flow of things. That time is important. So I wish you really reflect on me and what's happening and how I'm going to make sure these guys are in the right path.
Nice. Hey, man, we were definitely glad to have you back.
I'm excited
to be here, man. I'm sure the viewers have missed you as well.
All the phaser nights.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let me ask you a question, man. Have you started watching The Inhumans?
Yes, and everyone's talking about it, and I think it's great. So anyone who says it's bad can step on a rock.
With no shoe on.
With no shoe on. It is. I think it's great. First of all, they got to understand the Inhumans and where they come from, why. Yes, they are the broke X-Men. That's fine. I respect that. That's their stature, but it's good. And
it's like watching the GoBots.
That's funny. Or
you know about the GoBots, Brett?
Or watching Digimon when you talk about Yu-Gi-Oh!
You see somebody's quiet over there.
Or watching the
I
cars.
have no idea what y'all talking about right now.
Or watching the cars of Ultron.
Oh,
yeah,
I will say though, I did get a chance to watch the first half of it over the weekend. I had no idea this movie was like 3 hours long, 2 DVDs or whatever.
Oh, the original?
Yes.
Oh yeah, the original.
Yes.
I wanted to see the original before I watched the new one. Definitely now I understand the battery acid reference, Carol. That joke was crazy, but all in all, like, so I still gotta watch the second half, but I don't appreciate Buddy doing what he did in the bathtub at the end of that, man. That was pretty lame. At the end of the first half of it, I guess, when he was in the bathtub and then it just written on the wall. Like, why would you do something like that? But
yeah.
The funny thing about it that I didn't think about until like just recently, which I haven't seen a new one yet, so I still gotta go see that, but I'll see it on Netflix. But that fact that it is literally not just about the one person, it's about each of their own individual it's that make it crazy.
Yes.
And people would think it's all about Pennywise, and that's not even it.
He takes
it's so much
whatever
more.
It is that they
so much more.
It's your fear,
whatever you're scared of. So I thought that was pretty.
It is, yeah. So
because at first I'm watching, I'm like, dog, is this just gonna be a big flashback the whole time, or are they gonna actually get to what's actually going on?
Meat potatoes, what's the stuff popping? Then you like, yo, this is crazy, son. This is crazy.
Right. So, but second half coming soon.
But I was mad to the Humans factor. I did see it I did see the 2 episodes in IMAX. So I was really excited about that, and I came home and like, we're gonna start on episode 3 because they wanted to again. Wrong. They played 1 and 2 again, and I was so angry because I wasted $17. I could have saw it at home, so that made me a little upset. Other than that, it's good.
Nice,
easy. So Fresh.
Yes, sir.
Got the fresh jam of the week, man. What you got for the people this week, bro?
The people were a little distraught. I've been on my jazz, a little bit more humble tip. As of lately, they say, yo, Fresh, what we really know you for is, mixtapes such as Push and Place Volume 1, such as Push and Place Volume 2, such as Push and Place Volume 3. I got a hip hop basic foundation. So I went ahead and I got a new.
Not to mention that the jazz folks didn't appreciate the attention.
To save jazz was saved by Ryan.
So I went and got my man. I'm an OT Genesis fan. I really feel he has a nice bounce to his flow, but he's got a new single out. It is called Everybody Mad. And I mean, yeah, everybody's mad because he getting to the money. And I feel, I feel the same way. I think you should too.
Yeah. They gonna like it. They gonna like nobody.
Hey man, this is what I'm talking about here,
I be
man.
getting to the money. Everybody mad. Woo. Think I'm getting too much money. Everybody mad. Same old on the block.
Okay, that's enough.
Same old on the spot. Same old on the trap. Everybody hated on him, then he bounced right back. I just spent a whole lot of time overseas. Never limit my money cause I want cheese. I've been in my home.
Hey, Curl, you gotta get used to this, man. This is what Ashley gonna be, you know what I'm saying?
No, man, I forgot so that our video will be on YouTube.
Right?
That's all.
Right, 30 seconds.
Man, listen.
10 seconds.
Hey, Fresh, go ahead and shout out, man, the Fresh Jam of the Week one more time before we
One
get
more
into this.
again, though. Again, that is OT Genesis. That's the same man who made you go in love with the Coco. Told you that you was pushing it. This man is now letting you know that everybody's mad. Why? Because he has got to that bag. Everybody's mad because he get to the money. Y'all go check it out. Fresh Jam of the Week.
And we don't own it. We just trying to give you some shine.
Exactly. We just showing love. I did see OT just got upset because somebody scratched his I believe it was a Phantom drop top down in Miami. I hope that valet does get relieved of his duties, and I hope OT you get your car back to 100%. Fresh Jam of the Week.
I got a question about OT and that Phantom. So the last couple of weeks, I've been really digging deep into this financial game, and I'm gonna really understand. I want to know: is his net worth that much that he should buy a Phantom? Or is it at least like what is he doing in 10 years?
Well, you have to realize, okay, there's a different and this is probably a different show. We might need to bring the financial advisor back. I'm sure that his net worth isn't necessarily the best for that purchase. However, there is an outside normal people ring of how they're able to do jets and cars and all of this other stuff that you're purchasing but you're not really purchasing, and you're able to kind of find creative ways of purchase it, but it's really for the rental company that then they're renting it out and I'm getting money off of that. But there are many different ways that yes, it's not necessarily the smartest decision, but also, he's getting to the money. Everybody's mad, and
you got to stunt on them. But I just hope that some young man listening right now understands that
unless you're selling singles like Coco and Push It, that you're just out there doing a lot of shows and making a couple million every year. It's going to be consistent. I don't necessarily know it's the greatest move for you, but also.
If you want to set up for generational wealth,
exactly, a millionaire
go out there and get that.
But here's the other shoe.
All today.
But wait,
it's his industry.
Yes, it is. That's what a problem
just as we said though, in order to play the stature and get into the talk and thought process of a Jay-Z. Hey, Jay-Z has a rate. He's a ex rapper still. Hey, I've got to get to that same seat.
Let me ask you a question. What does Chance the Rapper drive?
Okay, Camry, right?
I don't even think he drives. I don't even think he does.
I'm pretty sure it ain't nothing.
The point is,
exactly.
we don't know,
and we don't have to. Yeah.
Hey,
that's the whole point.
All I'm saying is
what
to be a good
drive?
To be a millionaire does not mean you make $1 million every year. You got to have that in the bank at the end. So young men, young women, listen to this. Please set the next generation. I'm tired of us not having our own. Tired.
That was
I
a
think
strong
y'all
point.
I think you might be giving a little bit more credit than he's due. I'm not hating on OT. He's good for what he's good for. But are we sure that thing wasn't rented? Because I know you do definitely have to have a certain amount of money in the bank to even be qualified to get a Rolls Royce or whatever. But is he mad because he got it scratched because he was renting it, or is he mad because it was actually his? And
That's if he even rented it. The label might have rented it.
Yeah, exactly. No, you know how it is. They pay that in the back end.
Would I really look? I wouldn't be mad if I'm at the valet and they scratch my Camry. You know what I mean? That if it's a rental, you know what I mean? Like if it's a rental, I'm not worried about that. If it's mine, I'm worried about that. You know what I mean? Like, so I definitely think it was his, how his, I'm not sure. But I did, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I know he's definitely, especially people don't understand the amount of money you can make off of singles and the touring and everything. And especially when you have young Caucasian children singing "I'm in love with the Coco."
Yeah, for sure.
Not understanding what the Coco is.
I hope he made that money. I hope he put that money in the right spot because people get that money. Taxman come and take it all back.
Did you guys know that 2 Chainz used to have a different name? And he
Titty Boy.
And he was on
different bags.
And he was on Duffel Bag Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're
He was Titty Boy. That was Titty Boy. That was his name.
Man.
He had another name too before that. He had another name before that too. So.
They told me.
Hey, I got one.
Titty Boy ain't gonna make it big.
What Future's name was before Future?
Past.
Trash. No. God dang, man. It was with the Dungeon Family. I can't.
I'll give you a hint. It's something you consume.
Bread.
Nah, man, I can't think of it.
Meat.
Shut up.
I definitely wasn't gonna say meat.
Meat.
I'm glad you changed that.
Man, why you always hating on Future Phase on, man?
I don't
Let's
like
turn
him
up
at
King,
all.
bro.
Dang.
No. Have you seen the last commercial with him and Cher? I really want to turn.
I don't watch TV.
I didn't even know that was possible.
He's on a commercial right now with exactly. So he's on a commercial right now on Gap with Cher and him. And
He's on a Gap commercial?
Cher does auto-tune, so it's all good. She does for the last 5 years.
In love after love.
And he's in the background just
Life after love.
I'm like, why are you here? What is your purpose right now?
Hey.
Because you know what? He's doing what he's doing. So I'm not mad at him, but I can't listen to, maybe I listen to one song of an album and I'm done. That's it. So that's all I'm saying. He can do what he does. I just think he just took the reins of T-Pain and just went along with it and then moved forward.
Heck no. I'm not even going to dignify that with a response.
He was, yes, he was.
Excuse me.
T-Pain left, Preacher came in. That door opened up and he just kept going.
Yeah. So before we go to you, Carol, to close this thing on out, man, a couple of things, man. So it's a testament to how, those of us on the 13th floor are actually boycotting the NFL because none of us knew that Dallas was on a bye week last week. And we just sitting around waiting to see what the players going to do, talking about what they're going to do, whether they take the knee and everything. So for all my Dallas fans, the Eagles are looking good right now. You good, whatever.
I'm not watching, and it sucks because they're doing good.
Exactly. No foosball.
I really want to know what the Dallas fans think on the state of Jerry, man. What are they looking for this Sunday? I believe they playing, especially with Zeke looking like he gonna have to sit these 6 games coming up. But yeah, you're a Dallas fan, man. Get connected with us. Leave us a comment on the 13th floor page right under the podcast. Let us what you think about what Dallas is going to do. Also, one other thing, man, I have to shout it out because it's coming up real soon. Black Minds Matter. So this is an online public course inspired by Black Lives Matter, addressing the status of Black boys and men in education from grade school to college and university settings, focusing on issues like microaggressions, school to prison pipelines, exclusionary discipline, stereotypes, a bunch of stuff, man. It's being taught by a man named J. Luke Wood. He's a professor of community college leadership and director of a joint PhD education at San Diego State University. Black Minds Matter. I think this is really important for us as men to get involved with this. It starts October 23rd. It runs through December 11th. It's basically a webinar. We're going to put a post up to shoot you the link so you can get connected with that. You can search on YouTube, Black Minds Matter page, and check it out, see what they have to offer. They have a lot of special guests coming on, but it's really something that's going to impact our community in a positive way. So definitely shout out Black Minds Matter. That starts October 23rd and it goes through December 11th. And yeah, get connected with us on Facebook at 13th Floor. You can also email us at the 13th Floor at fledgeology.com. I don't know what the heck happened to Carol, man.
I think it got him.
Right?
Pennywise took him.
Yeah, man, I wasn't prepared to close the show out. Faison, you got something for the people? Or Fresh, what y'all want to do?
I mean, I think the way that Carol would have closed it out, he would have said, people, you
See what I got for the people.
Being motivated to push others. Don't allow, what you find as shortcomings or you not accomplishing things in the time frame that you thought you would accomplish them set you from continuing to push through. I think one of my favorite quotes from a Disney movie is Dory in I just lost the name of the movie.
Finding Nemo.
There you go, exactly.
Nemo.
Finding Nemo.
Finding Dory.
Just keep swimming. And that's the truth. In life, you need to do the same thing. A lot of us get distraught and we get pushed down when we're not able to do the things that we think in the same time frame that we want to accomplish them. And when people pop back up on you like that, you have to be able to go ahead and push through and say, hey, I'm not going to let a small victory or a small gain that did not put me in the position I expected be what stops me from attaining my true greatness. Ain't that right, Coach K?
Sure, you're right.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. We want to thank you all for listening with us here on the 13th floor, where the furniture isn't always the best, but the views are amazing.
Now is your time.
All right. I know you said you was resting, bro. Come on, man. You're not gonna do it.
So late.
I'm rusty.
He just over there. What happened? We thought it